God is so good, and it's so wonderful to be here. We have been so blessed by God, and it's good for us to remember that. It's good for us to keep our focus on God. I want to tell you about one of my favorite stories in the Old Testament. In fact, if I had my way, I would probably preach this once a month. I don't even get to preach it once a year. But it's in 2 Chronicles, the 20th chapter. It's the story about King Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat, you remember Jehoshaphat? I mean, it's kind of fun to say. Go ahead, Jehoshaphat. It's a fun name to say. But it's about King Jehoshaphat. Now, earlier in King Jehoshaphat's reign, he had aligned himself with Ahab, who was a wicked king. And he went to battle with Ahab, and in the end, Ahab was killed in that battle. And Jehoshaphat came back a little bit shaken up. But he had a good heart, and God sent a prophet and said, there's some good in you. And so God was with him. And later on, what had happened was the enemies had come to attack them again. And I'm going to have to paraphrase this and get through it. I'd love to read the whole 20th chapter with you, but we just don't have time. But the 20th chapter is so marvelous in that the enemy was coming to them, and Jehoshaphat calls all the people together. I like what it says. There was the infants, wives, and children, and all the men gathered together. And Jehoshaphat led them in this marvelous prayer, pleading to God to help them. And then the enemy came, and God, he found out this enemy is coming, and not only are they coming, they're just right there knocking on the door. They're already into the kingdom. They're already on their way, and they're going to be unstoppable. There's nothing that Jehoshaphat can do to stop this mighty enemy from coming. And so he prays to God, and God says, I'm going to take care of this for you. I'm going to take care of it for you. And in the 20th chapter, in verse 21, it says, when he had consulted with the people, this is King Jehoshaphat, he appointed those who sang to the Lord and those who praised him in holy attire. And as they went out before the army and said, give thanks to the Lord, for his loving kindness is everlasting. Now, I don't know if you could understand what he's saying in there, but when you have an army, you want your best soldiers to be out in front. You better have a good front line. And the second line of soldiers better be pretty good too. If you start to get to the third and fourth line of soldiers, you're in trouble. And so what does Jehoshaphat put out first? He puts out the singers. He puts out those who can praise God. He says, I want you to lead this. You lead this army. And so can you see this army marching out, and one in front are singing praises to God. Your love is everlasting. And verse 22 says, when they began singing and praising the Lord set ambushes against the sons of Ammon, Moab, and Mount Seir, who had come against Judah, so they were routed. Amazing. This army that came against him from all these three different factions of coming against them, they all turned against one another. And they all routed themselves. In fact, there was no one alive when they were done with each other. And when it says that when Jehoshaphat came to the place of battle, that all he saw were corpses on the ground. And there was so much booty left over, it took him 3 days just to collect all the spoils. Now, what does this tell me? It tells me that there's power in prayer, and we know that. But there's also power in praise. There's power in remembering how good God is to you. And when we come together today to sing praises, we are remembering what God has done for us. But it's not just what we do today. What we do today is just a fraction of what we do every single day. I hope you wake up every single day thinking how good God has been to you, and asking him for his continued blessing for that day. And at the end of the day, being able to count your blessing, because God is so good to us. So Jehoshaphat, what I love about that story is there's power in praising God. There's power in focusing on him, not just to pray to him, but to praise him. Praise is something we do publicly and vocally. We give thanksgiving to God in our own hearts, but when we start telling other people how good God is, that's praise. And so we've come together today, and you're there on live streaming today with us. And what we get to do is praise God. Remember how good He is to us.